Hello, hello. Good morning. How's everybody doing out there? A little peasant chat coming at you. That's right. We talk to poor people on Sundays here. Typically, the show used to be able to, you shouldn't be able to pay for questions, but I stopped that because you guys were making me want to get paid for some of the questions you were asking on Sundays. So today what we're going to talk about is, I know you guys probably don't like hearing too much about Tesla stuff and EV stuff, but I find it interesting that the manufacturers are now merging over to use the charging infrastructure that Tesla built. So what happens is the Electrify America stuff, which I think was heavily subsidized, is in trouble of literally going bankrupt and no one using it. So all of the Electrify America stations out there that Ford and all those others were touting, and the Electrify America company were touting, and the chargers are a different configuration, are now going to eventually be merged over to have Tesla, basically Tesla's going to sell them an adapter to be able to use their Tesla superchargers. So what's going to happen? Well, in my opinion, the government's going to step in. I'm one of those crazy conspiracy theorists that think that the government doesn't like it when a private party, although subsidized, let's be honest with you guys, Teslas are popular not because the cars are great in terms of EV, but in terms of cars in general, they're in the middle of the pack. But the heavy subsidy is what makes them attractive. If you buy a Tesla Model Y or Model 3 or Model Y, you're able to apply for a tax subsidy. And depending on your state, that's right, like California has an additional subsidy, basically welfare. That's right. You can probably deduct up to $10,000 off of your taxable income for a certain amount of years for each year you own that vehicle. So it's a tax write-off as opposed to a badass vehicle. Imagine the government gave tax write-offs to, let's say, the Toyota Corolla. Do you know that Corollas would go skyrocket in terms of sales? People go, wait a minute, I can buy a $35,000, $40,000 Corolla, $55,000 Corolla, which would be ridiculous, but I'm able to deduct up to $10,000 to $15,000 or $11,000 or $12,000 if you're in California off of your income, your taxable income, and deduct it from it, so it is a tax break. But anyway, I think the government's going to step in and eventually not be so happy that Tesla's doing such a good job of basically laying the groundwork for having the best charging infrastructure anywhere. So the government eventually will say, wait a minute, you are now monopolizing charging stations because you make them so well. Imagine a company that makes something so well that the government subsidized a competitor, like an Electrify America situation, told the American car manufacturers to use that situation. So every car manufacturer in the US, besides Tesla, that makes an EV, makes a charging port for anything but Tesla stuff. And eventually, once you start seeing orders of adapters start to go out, and Ford, Chevys, and Kias, and Hyundais alike are going to be using Tesla supercharger stations. One, Tesla owners are going to be mad about it because their station is going to be literally littered with F-150s, Kias, Chevys, and all that stuff in the future. Secondly, the government's going to say, what's happening? Why is everybody merging over to Tesla stuff? We're going to have to look into this. There's going to have to be congressional hearings because Elon Musk is a hardcore right-winger. That's what the government, I think, will do. So before we get into that too much, I want to say hi, thank you, and hi to the, before we do that, let's have Bill O'Reilly, announce the show.
Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
That's right, Bill. It does suck. All right, let's get the sponsors mentioned here. We got 2 Auto Solutions. Rami's on one first place in some banquet or something. Some 2 Auto Solutions banquet. Good for him. Race Motive has a race going on, I think, in the next weekend or so. They're going to have Roll Race Cup or something like that. Who knows? But Race Motive, thank you very much for all the giveaways. Everything has been shipped, so you should be getting your stuff soon. DNA Performance, DNAPperformance.com. Shirts, hats, fuel systems, wheels, tires, superchargers, you name it. Get it from DNAPperformance.com. Conk Performance, still waiting on that cold air intake from Greg. For now, I'm running the LMP and his Kong cold air, running really well. Love that shit. Caliber transmission, driving his Mach 1. That's right, his Mach 1 at NMRA with a 3160 stage 3 has been 130 miles an hour on basically 125 millimeter pulley. Badass. PMAS, Nick James, PMAS has sensors, bell mounts, filters, cold airs, MAF housings. Go to PMAS. Ultimate Header, ultimateheader.com, the best swap header on the planet. And the Parts Farm, thepartsfarm.com. They got GT500s, they got takeoff parts, they got engine parts, you name it, they got it. Hit up the Parts Farm. Say hi to the people here, and we'll get to talking about the subject matter at hand. We got TJ Sikorsky, Angel Puerto Rico, Monty 540, The Wolf, Joe Jackson, Darren Harper, 2000 MCR, Brian 03, Cobra, Robo Style, Coyote Kelly, Richard Weeden, Miniback Madman, Peter Chiquito, Jake Anthony, Craig Walls, More Pubes, More Boost, ATX Cobra, D-Rock Fox, Nikki G, Garage Built, Done, Tyler, JD Swag, Candice Lupus, Two-Tone, James NJ, Paul Ponthieu, Savar Matner. Okay. Truviate said, I almost forgot there's a show this morning, even though there's a show every single Sunday morning. And he said he almost forgot. Where's Turvy? Did I get rid of Turvy? I couldn't imagine getting rid of Turvy's intro music. Impossible. Douche did it. D-Rock Fox, More Pews, More Boost, Half Bolted on, Dalton, Snook, Bruce Willis, Mohammed, Salman Mackey, Black GT500, Whitest 550, Eminem, James the Young, Matt Oliver, Black Cat, Dustin Garrison, Sheesh, Matt B.O., Matt Class, Eric W., Miniback Madman again, Anthony McGinnis says, good morning, Richard Thousands, taking my 3-year-old to the Crystal Blue Water at Galveston this morning. The Crystal Blue Water at Galveston. That's... If you know anything about Galveston, that's probably the most hilarious thing you've ever heard. Hal Bolton on D-Rock Fox, Eminem, Mustang, G, Bondo Bird. I got to make sure that we have a Bondo Bird intro that is absolutely proper. Hey! Oscar, Manuel, Harley Tequachimo, and Russell. Okay, so every time there's something really good, the government steps in and takes it away. Whether you're a Second Amendment guy, if you enjoy something and it's awesome, the government comes in and loves to say, no soup for you, like the soup Nazi. Drag racing. I love to take my late model car, modify it whichever way I seem fit, and go out and race. And I live in a non-emission state. But the government says, no, we don't care. The company that allows you or helps you to do that is going to be fined into compliance if you don't comply or make your car as stock. Because in my opinion, you don't own your car. When you buy a car, you don't own it. You are using it, and the government, aka you, because you vote them in, allows you to do certain things. So what happens? Let's say you are one of those guys that likes to be governed. You took 3 jabs. How many of you on the chat took 3 jabs? Nobody's going to self-snitch. How many of you on the chat took 3 jabs? None. Team no jab here. Why? Because I don't know. I have a decent immune system. That's not how it works. Okay. Let me know how you feel when you're having a heart attack or can't breathe after a while. So let's say you're one of those guys that's like, yeah, the government knows what's best for me, so I'm going to definitely get rid of my polluting car. So you buy a Tesla, and all of a sudden, yeah, team 0 jab here, team 0 jab. And then I'm not touting it. If you did it, great. I'm good. So you buy a Tesla, and now the government is like, you used to be able to get a tax break, but now you can't. That's right, pure blood. That's right. Pure blood. So you used to be able to get a tax break. Then for a while, the government took the tax break away because of feelings. There is no other reason that the government took the tax break away or brought it up a price point or down a price point so that they can slight Elon Musk. And then he kept talking this, what they perceive as to be hardcore right-wing stuff. I know, I get it. Some of you had to take it because you're in Canada. You got to move. I don't know. I don't understand why the hell you guys even have to. I had to take one for my job. I quit. My job said take a jab, I quit. Fuck you. Forever. I get it though. I get it. You got to look out for your shit, and the military makes you get jabbed nonstop and carry pride flags. We'll see how that goes. So you got a Tesla. Now all of a sudden the government's like, whoa, we don't like what Elon Musk tweets, so we're going to take away the tax break. So you're like, wait a minute. I was modifying my car, being a good citizen, and all of a sudden you said that's illegal to do. So, okay, I moved over to Tesla stuff because it's a tax break, and you said electric was better, government. All of a sudden, they take away the tax break. And you're like, well, what the hell just happened? So let's say you bought the Tesla high, meaning at a high price. So Elon drops the price to meet some of the requirements to be able to get the tax subsidy. And he was able to lower the price because there's so much built-in profit on each vehicle that you were able to get the tax benefit. Then the government does shady shit and moves the tax break price point up or down just to avoid what Tesla is doing. And then all of a sudden you said, well, okay, let me get rid of my Tesla and let me get a Ford. Let me get a Mach-E GT because I still get the tax break. It's domestic, even though Tesla is built in the US. But okay, then you go to the Electrify America stations and you hate it. It sucks. It takes forever. You don't even know if the charger works half the time. You have to plug it in to find out if it's charging. Then, all of a sudden, the Ford brokers a deal with Tesla to get the chargers on their stations able to be utilized by Fords and GMs. And you're like, what the hell am I doing? I can't do anything right. So it's one of those things where you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So do whatever the hell you feel like doing. Don't do anything that the government asks you to do because they don't know shit. Most of the people in government have never run a business. That's why I think Trump is a huge issue for them. The guy has run a business. Oh, he got a loan from his dad. Half of you guys that get a loan for $50,000, can you convert that into a $150,000 profit? No. So you got to have some know-how in business to know how to make, it takes money to make money. So if someone handed you $1 million, could you make $1 billion business out of it? I guarantee you wouldn't. You'd go fishing, you'd buy a model, you'd buy a Lambo like a dumbass, a house, and go fishing. You wouldn't be able to convert that into jobs and something that benefits the economy. So I think the government eventually is going to step in and say, I don't like the fact that GM and Ford, people that are run by unions, allowed their cars to be used by Tesla superchargers. And what are the people thinking who have a vested interest in the Electrify America network? People that invested in it, people that doubled down on it, people thought that it was going to be a huge boom for them, like the oil boom. They thought the electricity boom was going to be a thing. And now they're left high and dry because Tesla owns the best ones, and Ford and GM saw the light and said, let's just use those because their customers need good chargers. It is an interesting thing to think about how the government is going to act when it comes to what they'll do to Tesla. I think they'll do something to Tesla in order for them to rein in their high profits. I hate to even say that but that's the government we live in. And you guys allowed it to happen. Anyone that voted Democrat anywhere can suck my fat dick. Republicans aren't much better, but they're the lesser of two evils for my pocketbook. So we'll talk about that. What do you think is going to happen? And then we'll take your peasant questions. As always, we talk about whatever, whenever. Today, I'm going to sit down here and try to hammer out at least 2 videos. It's very difficult to hammer out one. So I'm going to try to hammer out 2 videos. Gen 2 Auto Coyote power adder build 6R80. I'm sorry, Gen 1 Coyote 6R80. Gen 1 Coyote 6R80 power adder. And then I might do Gen 2 NA manual to start that series and keep going all the way to Gen 3 and modern times. A lot of people are talking about the Ford, the SCCA looking. Nobody gives a shit. Like, no one cares. Maybe you care if you're into road racing, but the vast majority doesn't care. Hendrick Motorsports is really trying hard to show you that a NASCAR at Le Mans matters. I think it matters fuck all, but if you're a fan of that shit, have at it. I literally don't care. My wife made them fire her for not taking the jab, and now you might be able to sue. In New York, they reversed that. If you were mandated to take a jab and you said no thank you and they fired you, you can now be compensated for based on everything that has happened. You know what it requires? It requires a right-wing administration to go in there and things will not all go back to normal, but Normal thinking motherfuckers will be back in office. You won't see dumb shit you won't see dumb Pride Month stuff. You won't see any of that stuff. It'll be gone. But you guys keep voting Democrat for whatever freaking reason. I can't imagine there's 200 of you on the chat. 90 likes. So there's the faithful 100 are always in there, hitting the like button. So I appreciate you guys. I think this channel runs off of 100 to 200 people. The rest of you are just like, whatever. My Lambo's a marketing expense. Why wouldn't they make charging stations universal? Seems like a smart decision. No, it's a for-profit business. No, you got to understand. It's a for-profit business. So when you have control of everything, the supply chain, you make more money. So the government told Ford and GM, build EVs. A certain amount of your fleet has to be EVs. Okay. Well, what are we going to do to charge it? Don't worry. We're going to heavily subsidize the Electrify America network. Okay. So guess who's in that? I'm sure it has all government entities and tentacles from the top down so that you get the vehicle built by a union shop, the Electrify America network built by maybe union workers, who knows, funded by government and people that are into big energy, because I guarantee someone that has big oil in their portfolio also has anything EV, anything that can make money. They're not stupid. Anything that can make them money. So if it's electrifying America, they'll hedge their bets and get in there and start investing in it. And now that it's falling apart, they're probably looking at their portfolio going, wait a minute, what is this BS? We put a lot of money into Electrify America. And now Ford and GM are just gonna diss us and use Tesla chargers? That's crazy to me. It is interesting. The ZL1 Cup car is doing well. Ferrari is the leader overall. Right, it doesn't matter. Like who cares? Like, honestly, that doesn't matter. But you guys love it. Whatever. It's like watching F1 and giving a shit. Like, why would you watch F1 and cheer for anybody? It's the best driver with the best equipment wins. That's it. What the heck is a jab? I'm lost. Oh, okay. The ZL1 is John. Okay, whatever. It was a wreck fest in the beginning. I hope Ferrari wins. Chicken and late. Literally sitting at work right now shopping Teslas and Kia hybrids. If you were to ask me which vehicle manufacturer that is non-Tesla is going to do well, it'll be a Hyundai brand. I hate to say it, but have you seen them? They're not terrible. Hyundai seems to be the cheapest, but the most, I guess, finger on the pulse of what people want. They get fast sedans, decent looking sedans, twin turbo stuff all over the place, some decent hybrid stuff. So if Kia, Hyundai / any Korean auto manufacturer decides to step into the EV game, I think they'll do well because their parts are cheap. Their cars are cheap, but they're not terrible quality. They're not good quality, but they're not terrible quality. I'm not a Hyundai fan, but I did have a Genesis 50 R-Spec. I love that car. I thought it was great. Yeah, it was dated, but a 420 or 400 horsepower sedan back in 12, 11. I forget what year that car was. That was pretty neat. I should have brought the Shell stock and dumped Rivian. Yeah, imagine if you got into Rivian hardcore because it was the first EV truck that was on the road. And the product is good, but the price point isn't. And the supply chain that hurt them, probably going to bankrupt them. And Ford invested heavily into Rivian. And they lost their shirt. They lost everything. These cars weren't in contention to win race class. I'm tuned into the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Have been since. Who cares? You guys talking round Steve Schleckenberg stuff. Kia has a 500 horsepower EV. Would have never thought that. Right. And I honestly think that if you were to put a gun in my head and go Ford EV, GM EV, or Kia, I would do a Kia. Based on, okay, maybe you live in Ohio or Oklahoma or Nebraska, somewhere that doesn't matter. And you don't see what's hot. You don't see where there's a little bit of money in industry, what people are buying. If you go to Miami, Boston, LA, Houston, all these places that are big and popping, you could see the future of what's going to end up in your town. So initially you saw Teslas all over the place. Remember Priuses? Priuses were everywhere. Everybody was virtue signaling with Priuses. I'm saving the planet. Look at me. And then they started smelling their own farts. Then Tesla came around. Then they virtue signaled with Teslas. Now they're going, if the future is EV, I don't care. I'm not a Tesla fanboy. I'm going to buy the cheapest of the EVs that gives me tax breaks. And Kia is that one, in my opinion. And if you watch the guy who reviews like cell phones and electric products, he made a car review channel, and it's like super basic, but it does well. He reviewed a Kia or a Hyundai, something EV, and he thought it was great. And after looking at it, everything was great except the range wasn't awesome. But if it's something you're gonna plug in your house every day or every other day or once a week, why would I buy a $55,000 Tesla if Kia can make it happen in a different configuration? The other thing is going to be the charging. You can either charge at home or use the Electrify America network or the Tesla superchargers. I'm blown away that people rely on Tesla superchargers instead of just wiring it into your house, 220 outlet like a dryer outlet, and charge your car in like 6 hours for $10, or 5 hours and $10, or 2 hours and $10. They scalped Audi and BMW engineers. Yep, I believe so. Kia is blowing engines left and right. Okay. I don't know where you live. Well, Houston. That's all. I don't hear anything. I hear more Ford failures than Kia failures. Wait until you thought the class action lawsuit for the Chevy 8-speed was a big deal. Just you wait until people are sick and tired of this 10R80. Not the NA guy with the trumpet intake. That guy's a total cuck. But what I'm saying is the regular person that bought any 10R80 vehicle, F-150, Raptor, no, the Explorer has like an 8-speed. Mustang, believe it or not, F-250, F-350s are 10-speed. Wait until they start saying, this thing drives like such trash, I hate it. It skips first, it skips second, it downshifts in the middle of you towing something for no reason, it wigs out. Wait until those class action lawsuits start hitting. It'll make the Chevy class action lawsuit pale in comparison to what Ford is going to face in about, I don't know, 5 years. Still would rather get a Y though. I get it though. No, I understand. Gun in my head, EV, I want a Model S Plaid because it's fast. No other reason. Now, if you were to gun in my head, Model S Plaid or built CTSV all day, every day. And it's like $75,000 used. I was highly against EVs, but after listening to you and seeing what they're capable of, the power, just need the range to come up, and I'm sold. Keeping the Coyote though, correct. I think you should absolutely love the range, but again, with time comes better. Like in 5 years, we're going to laugh at 300-mile range on EVs. We're going to laugh at it. There's going to be one or two that are specifically made for range. And you're going to see a 500-mile range small EV that charges in 2 hours or 3. And it costs you $20. And you're like, I'm in. Because to pump in 87, that costs $3.90 for 12 gallons, and it lasts you 2 weeks. The math make, and of course, they're gonna probably do tax incentives. The Ford 3-cylinder EcoBoost blow up left and right. Exactly. Explorer is a 10-speed, right? No, it's not. Is it? Ford Explorer. Oh no, I'm talking about the transmission. I thought it was an 8-speed. Wait, let me see images. I thought the Explorer had an 8-speed. Let me see gears. Of course, it shows gears. Let me make sure I'm talking about the right vehicle, because Nardi has one, and I don't think it has a 10-speed. 10 speed? Configuration limited. 4 more. What is this? Oh, come on. Just show me the fuck. I don't know. I honestly don't give a shit. Don't know. But I thought they had an 8-speed. It doesn't say. The V6, like the ST. Like, what does the Explorer ST have for a transmission? It doesn't say. Wow, I'm blown away that it just doesn't say. Bam, 10 speed. But tell me what the Explorer ST has. I don't think it has a 10-speed. If it is a 10-speed, I wouldn't buy that shit either. I wouldn't buy anything with 10 speeds from Ford. No freaking way. Have you driven one? Go ahead and drive one. Go ahead and drive one. Not wide open throttle. You guys think that wide open throttle, that's all that matters. That's my favorite thing about automatic guys. Well, at what? It's great. Yeah. So do you live at what? I don't. Yeah. 10R60. Gotcha. Buy and import. Maybe American brands will open their eyes and quit making poo cars. Vote with the dollar. Look at what's happening with Bud Light. Look at what's happening with Chick-fil-A. Look at what's happening with Target. If there's a product you don't like, you stop buying it. They change course. They change course. Someone says 10R60. So there you go. A 10-speed. I wouldn't buy any 10-speed ever. I got rid of mine, and I'm so happy. My Cadillac Escalade has an 8-speed. I absolutely love it. I know it might have issues in the future, but I bought a warranty. I went into that purchase eyes wide open. I bought an extended warranty that cost me a good chunk of change because I can swing it. If the motor explodes, I don't care. If the transmission explodes, I don't care. It's covered. So I'm blown away that people will still buy a Ford product with a 10-speed and then complain when it's cold, it drives weird. And then they buy a tune. This is my favorite. People buy a tune thinking that it's going to fix a hardware issue. If you have a hardware issue, guys, a tune is not going to fix a hardware issue. If your car was driving fine for 2.5 years, boom, you get a misfire code. And you go, wait a minute. Maybe I'll tune it and it'll fix a misfire. Well, how the hell are we going to do that? Explain to me mechanically how a car in a stock tune pops a misfire code and your thought process is, I'll tune it and it'll fix the misfire. Hey, the transmission is slipping. I'll tune it and it'll fix the slipping. Like right now, we have a lot of customers, they know the answer to this question, but they don't want to hear it. Let's say you got your transmission built, any car, and before you went and got it built, the thing was going, bah, 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 bah. Awesome. Let me go freshen it up. Put the transmission in. Next hit. Bah, bah, pop, 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 bah, bah. Why in God's green earth would you think that the tune has to change? Come on, guys. Let's do some critical thinking here. Before you sent the transmission to get built, was hitting at 75, 7,800 every ship. Ba, 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 ba. Now it goes, ba, 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 ba. Oh, Lund, tune it. Why? Why? Why would I chase something that is not a tune issue? Again, you shipped it off to get refreshed and it was hitting at 7,500 each time. So what is the proper thing? You should do a whatchamacallit? Let's just say critical thinking. If it was fine before, got rebuilt, and now it's hitting a limiter, it's a transmission issue. Send it back and say, my tuner, have had a relationship with him for 10 years. I've never had an issue. The moment I sent my transmission to you, it now starts to slip. I know it's not a tune issue. Fix it. Maybe your tolerances are too much. Your clearances are too big. Whatever it is, fix it, because I am not going to look like a clown to my tuner and say, fix this transmission. That is crazy talk. Crazy talk. If it's on the same tune that was hitting at 7,500 for years and it slams a limiter after you get it rebuilt, stop looking at the tuner and going, you need to fix it. Now, a lot of guys out there probably going, what are you talking about, Alex? You always got to adjust something. It's a build trans. No, I don't. No, I don't. Let's take it off of transmissions, because transmission guys getting triggered right now. Injectors, right? Injectors. Let's say you buy a set of ID 1300s. E85 tested and verified, meaning you are a psycho. You test everything because you want everything to be on point. You go out there and you go watt, and the sucker is between 3% and 5% at watt. 0.95 to 1.0 or 1.0 to 1.05. Perfect. Then, let's just say you get them cleaned up. They've been 5% forever. Let me get them cleaned up. Shh. Get them back in the car. Oh my God, they're 30% lean. Would you go to your tuner and say, can you fix this? Or would you go, they were fine before. Either my installation sucks, I got an O-ring kinked, something is wrong mechanically. That's where the customer needs to fix his shit. He needs to stop and go, it was fine before. I changed something. Now it's not fine. I'm not even going to hit up Lund. I'm not going to hit up my tuner. Forget Lund. Let's just say your tuner. Because it was fine before. I looked at the fuel trims. It was fine. Now it's way out of whack. Why the hell would I hit him up and bother him? Any idea what's going on? Did you change anything? Well, now that you think about it, now that you mention it, I changed the trans, the clutch, the crank sensor, the injectors, the intake. I poured in my ass. I put a new intake on it. Oh, sorry, it's not a tune issue. Miguel says, ended up getting a Gen 3 for the 96 Cobra. What flywheel did you use on the white car? Stock. I'm seeing up to 17, but supposedly Gen 3 is different. Stock. Wait, you're talking about a clutch? It had a McLeod RXT, so it came with whatever flywheel the McLeod RXT comes with. The fluid type and fluid level is very important on the transmission. Right. We tell people use LV. They go, what? I used Amsoil. I watched an Amsoil commercial where they took the fluid out of the trans and drove for 400 miles without issue. So we know it's not the oil. Ricky 50 says, taking accountability and responsibility off of themselves and putting it onto the tuner, no critical thinking or basic knowledge for that matter. And that's the problem. The modern car guy, Coyote specifically, introduced entry-level mechanical ability having ass motherfuckers to the fast car game. You could have zero knowledge of how anything works and go eights because the tuner has the file. All you have to do is follow what the tuner's recipe says for what performance. 6R80, TVS, 69 upper or 72 upper with a 10% lower, E85, 1300s, Circle D, 3C or 4C, 315s, aluminum drive shaft, built trans, boom. Bottom nines, high eights. And then you have an issue and you go like this. Meanwhile, a carbureted, and I know you guys are going to say, Alex is just being a boomer. A guy that has a 10 or 9 second NA Fox knows 500 times more about cars than any Coyote guy that goes eights. You guys just slap parts on. Whereas a NA Fox guy is under the hood and has intricate knowledge of everything. Valve issue, timing issue, carb or EFI issue. It's not just a slap on together kit. Coyotes became kit cars in a way. I have a kit to run 9s. I have a kit to run 10s. I have a kit to run 8s. There's a kit. Boom, 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 boom. Put it in the car. Have a comparable or a competent tuner and you run the number and you're happy. But Alex, my tuner is also my mechanic. Oof. Alex, can't you turn the boost up on my supercharger in the tune? And again, when I hear that, I know what I'm dealing with. And again, I'm not making fun. I just am blown away that people think boost is adjustable by the tuner on the tune. Well, Alex, I saw you go wide open throttle with the base E85 file and it saw 10 pounds of boost. And then a week later, density altitude dropped, more air was available, and I went watt with the same tune, and I saw another 1.5 pounds of boost. So you upped the boost. That's how they think. Maybe that's why all those other tuners don't get back to the customers. Commercials where they drain the fluid out of something and then run it to make me think the fluid isn't a big deal and almost anything would work. Facts. Die-hard small block Ford guys are a unique breed for sure. See, I think die-hard small block Ford guys, especially NA guys, that they have to build a high winding, like a 331 dart block or man of war block, something with like stupid heads and solid roller and 800 CFM carb, an intake that sticks out the hood, and they shift at 8200. That guy knows so much. Like, that guy knows a shitload. And I'm blown away that people look down on guys like that. I don't look down on guys like that. When I see a guy running a really wicked number in an old platform with an old engine, something that is comparable to today's standards, I guarantee Gen Z and Gen X look at an old Fox that runs 10s, NA, and they go, nah, it's got to have nitro somewhere. Wait, how do you run 10s not supercharged? I don't get it. Mustang, Coyote Mustangs don't run 10 supercharged. Barely do. Pump gas. How the hell are you doing it NA? And then you start talking to them and they drop nothing but knowledge on you and you're just like confused. And then you realize you don't know much. Like, you might know how to build a turbo kit here and there, but in terms of like actually how, I can't take a Coyote guy and put him in a small block Ford or a small block Chevy, Monte Carlo, and say, here you go, maximize the combo and do your thing. Well, where's the tuner? Here's a screwdriver. Here's a jet kit. Have fun, kiddo. That's where you realize that you don't know much about cars. And people that are computer guys, tuners only, they roll their eyes. They go, okay, here is a screwdriver, a 13 millimeter wrench, you know why, and a jet kit. Maximize this combo. If you know how cars work, you should be able to. Now, I can take a small block Ford or small block Chevy guy and put him in a Coyote and say maximize the combo. Absolutely. He's going to go, how much timing is it seeing? Who am I being tuned by? Is the cam timing optimal? What's the fuel type? What are trims supposed to be? Oh, it's trimming too much fuel. Okay, well, my tuner can drop, or I'll look at it. I'll smoke check it. I'll make sure everything's good. I'll hit up the tuner and say, hey, tuner, we got some stuff going on here. But suspension, bar angle, plotting the suspension adjustments, shock adjustments, tire pressure, all that stuff, he already knows because he dealt with it in an older platform. Non-Peasant checking in, says Tracy Miller. Personal gripe. Everyone in my area with the 10R80 has suddenly become a real driver. Look, we all know that if you have PRNDS on your shifter, you're already a non-driver. If you have a Turbo 400, you're already a non-driver. Love you. There is no skill in driving a Turbo 400, anything that shifts itself. Now, I'll give you a little more credit if you nudge it forward to second and nudge it forward to third all the time, and you have a consistent set of time slips within a tenth or two of each other. Suspension's dialed, track's dialed. Let's say you have a 9-second car, Turbo 400, and let's say you run 920, 930, 920, 920, 920, and you shift it with your hand yourself. I would go, cool, he's got some ability. But if you have the computer shifting at 7,500 with an air shifted solenoid, yes, the car's fast, but you aren't. Who's got a timing like right? Yates headed 408s back in the day running 9s and A. Wesley Evans is a good example. Yeah, exactly. Wesley Evans can jump into a Coyote platform and maximize the combo really well if he works with like a Lund Racing as a tuner and if he trusts them. He's got to trust what they say in terms of what we're maxing out. A lot of people don't believe. Like, there's a guy right now that jumps from this tuner to this tuner to this tuner, and he gives all the credit to the tuner. I'm like, no. You have a lot to do in this combo working well. If you're running stuff that the tuner dislikes, or if you're making changes the tuner doesn't know about, it's not going to run great. So what happens with the old tuner? The old tuner knew a little bit about his combo and said, oh, it runs good. The new tuner knows everything about his combo because now the guy has a new ticket. He's telling him everything, what his goals are, and now that goes a tenth or two faster. And then they post, oh my God, this tuner really has the sauce. I'm so stupid. I spoke to an old guy a bit ago, and I swear I felt like I was speaking a different language. I could barely keep up thanks to your Fox videos. Okay, so this is the problem with the modern racer. They go, Alex, I need your advice. I got BMR springs, BMR cradle lockout, BMR this, BMR that, right? They're just spouting off. I got Vikings in the front and rear, 305, 45, 17s. Tell me what to do. And I go, why don't you just try stuff? Like, why don't you just try stuff? What happened to trying stuff? What happened going out there, going with 13 compression, 10 rebound on front, 6 rebound, 10 compression in the rear, or the other way around, 6 compression, 10 rebound, and trying and see how the car likes it? No, they want everything now. So I have told so many people, if you have a stick car and you plan on competitively racing it, stick, you got to have a bias ply back there. And then they go, well, what should I set my launch limiter at? What? Why don't you just leave at 6,000 RPMs? Well, my launch limiter doesn't let me do that. How about forget the launch limiter? Or, this is my favorite. They go up there with 15 PSI on the tire and it dead hooks. Duh. Then they leave it at high RPM. Duh. Keeps dead hooking. Alex, what should I do? If you raise the tire pressure 2 or 3 PSI, it might not bog. You want a little wheel speed. Wait a minute. I thought less tire was more grip. And that's when I have to go, these guys have never gone, they've never cut their teeth through the meat grinder that is the Fox body world. 86NA guy here. Way more expensive than doing it with a boosted Coyote. Just a nudge, more credit. Things really change with modern cars and big horsepower. When I was younger, 12-second street car was fast, and 11s and 10s were race cars. Manual reverse valve body, easy peasy. One thing I enjoyed about my EFI Fox, mechanically, you could upgrade everything in that car and it would run just fine. If there's ever a problem, it was a mechanical problem. My Turbo 400 manual valve body, I'm kind of a driver. Waiting for Alex's next follower, it's just a nudge, right? Yeah, it's called testing. And people want to go to a test and tune and run their personal best their first time out. And when a guy goes out there and start testing, tuning their combo, they get made fun of. Oh my God, it hit a limiter. How do you know this isn't the first time out hit with that combo? And people record it from the stands. Look, this guy doesn't know shit. He's hitting a limiter. He's dumb. What a dumbass. I'd never get tuned by him. What if it's the first time out on that combo? I'm blown away that people judge you so fast on things and the modern car guy doesn't test enough. I tried softening my front suspension and it turned my car into an RTR drift car. We used to spend hours on the back roads testing our setups. Michael Locke says, people want to learn on the curve. Give me a recipe that works, shock setting and such. If I don't run close to what you say, it's not me, it's the combo. That's how people think. Correct. Alex, what do you think are my next mods? So, my black car is a great example because I learned on that black car. I had a couple of transmissions in that car. Luckily, the motor lasted the whole time. Stock oil pump gears. For the people saying that you need oil pump gears. Stock oil pump gears on that motor. And I remember going out there with a drag radial, slipping the clutch, getting locked out on second gear, going to third at 6,800 RPMs into fourth, and then running a 1080. And I go, Jesus, this thing has a lot more to improve based on everything. So everybody was saying, get the BMR spring. That's the best spring out there. And you know what? I got Ford Racing P springs. And I cut one coil off of the front stock spring. I removed the sway bar and got a BPS sway bar removal kit. From my Fox body days, I'm like, let's get the front end up. The car was sitting so high in the front, I cut it to be level. Ford Racing P springs in the back. A UPR anti-roll bar. I ended up getting revalved AFCO shocks in the rear, and I got a bias ply. The Hoosier it was too soft, so I got a Mickey Thompson stiff wall slick. And the first time out went 1040, and I went, oh yeah, now we're cooking. Had the 85, all that stuff. And I got it down to a 10-1 with a 79 millimeter pulley, 79 millimeter pulley, guys, and E85, 21 degrees of timing. I'd love for you to tell me what you ran with a 79 millimeter upper, Gen 2R, ID1000s in Florida weather. Not up north PA weather, Florida weather. And then I ended up running 10-1 at Georgia, and then before the diff broke. So all of my years of vetting a combo and testing paid off. Most people are stuck in the 11s with that combo to this day. Can we bring back Alex the Immigrant? Alex, the tire pressure, shift points, shock strut settings launch were found by testing. Hence, test in 2 nights. Exactly. PCM sent to HP tuners. Okay. Alex, raced the Pookie with a Hellcat in my 10R80 and didn't do too bad up to 100 miles an hour, but the horsepower difference caught up afterwards. Correct. Your 10R80 NA car, if it's a Cobra Jet, is going to be good up until about, like you said, 100, 110. And it's just a matter of power because you're now going up against the wind. And this Charger or Challenger has another 200 horsepower on you. He's just going to win. Alex, what rear tire do you run on your Shelby? RXT with the Stage 3 Caliber? Why are you asking weird questions like that? RXT with the Stage 3 Caliber? I don't know what you got. OG Saucy. I have no idea what your car combo is. I have no idea what your goals are. This is the modern car guy. OG RXT with the Stage 3 Caliber? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to break the gears? Added to Michael Locke's comment, how much is the car driving versus the driver driving? Testing is critical, and I have so many passes and written down data just on my Viking shocks alone to get them right. People don't want to test. People say, hey, Lund Racing has fast S550s. Let me get tuned by them. Gets tuned by them, runs the same number they ran with their old tuners, and they're like, they suck. Did you try to change anything mechanically? Oh, no, why should I? My friend, that's my favorite. Oh, my God. You know how many times I hear my friend in the ticket system? My buddy? And you know, my answers are pretty rough. My friend has the same stuff. Why is he beating me? Maybe he's a better driver and a better tech and has his vehicle dialed in and you don't. And they get offended. I go, don't get offended. I am giving you the answer. He's better. He is better. Do you know what his car weighs? Do you know what he shifts at? Do you know what fuel's in the car? Do you know anything? No, I just bolted on some parts and raced my buddy and he beat me by 3 cars and we have the same stuff. Or he's tuned by somebody else. And my buddy is tuned by somebody else. And I'm getting beat. So the other guy's tune is better than your tune. Every day I get 2 or 3 of those. And I have to give him the harsh reality. It's like talking down to a child and saying, maybe he's better at racing than you are. People just swap tuners constantly, blows my mind. They remind me of people who drive around for hours looking for a cheaper gas station. Did you just see the clip of the at the slideshow? Yes, saw that. Right. RXT with a T5? Like, he just says stuff. Talked to the guys at Calumet both yesterday. Also got to see how fat. Oh, stop it. By the way, Ben Calamer is at NMRA. Go check out his Mach 1. I know it's not astronomical, but let's go check out his Mach 1. Mach 1 ESS G3X with a 125 millimeter pulley, because I told him 125. What do you mean? ESS says 120 is 10 PSI. No, it's not. It's like 11 or 12 at 8,000 RPMs. So he goes out there, buys a 125 millimeter pulley, fully loaded stock tires, 11.0 at 130. He has a car seat in that Mach 1. It is a purple Mach 1 in the Ben Calamer booth. 11.0 at 130, built 3160. That's what he's showcasing. So listen to that car shift. Shifting phenomenal. Built trans ESS 125 millimeter. I think he's got octane booster in it. That is like such a wonderful combo. It's a 10-second car basically. I'm hoping today he dips into the 10s. So if he goes 10s with a 125 millimeter pulley, with octane booster and a booster pump, with an ESS supercharger and stock tires, full interior with a baby seat. That's why I tell you guys not to even deal with the NA game. Yeah, 125 millimeter pulley on a Wish kit. Stop it. Is the RXT and the Mustang on an on-off switch like the LS platform? The RXT is the RXT is the RXT. Regardless of the platform, it's going to feel harsh. I am not a fan of the RXT clutch. Will multi-tune work with my rear shocks? Right. Lund Racing only gives the sauce to their shop cars. Oh, let's talk about that. So, if a shop A, has a twin turbo truck and shop B has a twin turbo truck and shop A runs a second quicker than shop B, maybe shop A did more work to their truck than shop B did. We didn't give these guys more boost. We didn't give them a totally separate tune. We didn't give them anything special. So if you have an 18 to 20 F-150 twin turbo, you all get the same tune. You all get the same. So why is that? And this is what I hear a lot. Oh, they give them more sauce because they got a better relationship. No, we don't. We give them the same stuff we give you. They're just better. Be better. Spoke with several EV performance shops and they charge 80 to 150 to build a low 9-second, high 8-second car. Is the race game really going EV for this? Do you think that amount for ICE is better? I could build an 8-second car for $60,000 all in. I wish I had $60,000 like just laying around. I'd go buy a Gen 2. I'd get a twin turbo kit from Aldo. Have Jake build a 6R80, drive shaft, stock rear end, 315, G-force axles, complete Steeda drag suspension, and a 252 non-lockup converter. That is your 8-second combo. E85 too. Bald Firestone 8500 tune sucks. DJ says, all that is important. I'm sure if I didn't have a passenger, did some weight reduction on myself, the car, I could have matched Pookie. Saw the Mach 1 in the True Street yesterday, right. Told him to log the startup and send it in. Alex, how bad is your migraine after a day's work? It's really, that's a good one. That's a good question. I'm going to be honest with you. It's really tough. And maybe you guys go, oh, he just slams tunes in front of the computer all day. No, guys. I'm responsible right now in a revolving way over 150 vehicles. Over 150 vehicles I'm responsible for. And each and every one of them, I have to pay attention to their combo, maximize their combo, give them a heads up as to what to look out for. So how do you think I feel talking to people that not everyone knows a lot about cars? Very rarely do you get people that really know a lot about cars in the Coyote game. But forget that. Forget the car running. How about just flashing a tune? How about just data logging a vehicle that I have to sit there and I hate to say babysit, but it's not their fault. Tuning has gotten worse and we're not on a level playing field. Guys, be aware. For about 3 years, we have not been on a level playing field with all other tuners. We have been working with one software and Lund Racing Engage. That's it. Like Lund Racing Engage and HP Tuner stuff, where everyone else has access to other things. And we somehow keep thriving. But we have to make sure that the customer can log, tune. Like we were not on a level playing field. Get us on a level playing field. Watch us dominate. Like we dominate now with one hand like this. If we had both, all the software everyone else has access to, it's not even close. It's not even close. And the shops will benefit. Because right now, if you're a shop, you're like, man, if only Lund fucked with this, or if only the N gauge was still being circulated, if only the N gauge was still a thing. Oh my God, the shops now have to sell customers things that are slightly subpar or they can't do anything about. So if you're a shop, you have to go, well, I have to offer my customer the best product available. So even if that means me going to another tuner in order for my customer to get the best tuning device and tuning support available, even though I love Lund, I might have to go elsewhere. And I 100% understand that. I understand that one. I mean, no one understands that better than me. But give Lund an even playing field. Game over. Looked over the car, trying to remember the times that if he dipped into the 10s, was running True Street, so not a huge amount of cooldown. Baby C delete equals 10.9 pounds. Lund gave me all the sauce, picked up half a second, 6130, my 21 GT500, had XYZ tune before the car drives better now. Hats off to Lund. Right. So if you're at NMRA right now, just listen to any GT500 drive through the pits. You hear the startup and the car's surgy. Then he takes off, puts it in drive or first or whatever it's called in a GT500. Then they run a good number. And you go, okay, it's fast, but it sounds like it drives like shit. Then you hear a completely different 21 GT500 or 20. Go through the pits. Runs a similar number. As a customer, which one do you want? The surgy one that runs a number or the smooth one that runs the same number? Those guys say that their buddy has the same mods, has some BBK, BMR, JLT, etc., while his buddy has actual good parts. Alex, has anyone ever bricked an ECU not knowing how to flash it? Yes, many times. And many times I have to send a recovery file. How about just dealing with people? It's very difficult. I don't necessarily like people. Like, if you meet me in person, I'll say hello and I'm nice and cordial, but inside I'm dying. Because you're going to tell me about the time that you had this Fox and I have to care now in person. And I'm not rude in person. I'm actually really nice, but inside I'm dying. Did you send me that N-Gauge and free Lund tune? Right. Lund is double fish hooking the cut. Jim Farley announced that the dealerships are suing Ford to stop producing EVs. Where? Ryan Doyle. I'll read that article. Savar Motner says, Alex been my tuner for a while, and every time I ask him for advice, he has never steered me wrong. Very fast on answering questions and has my ESS boosted Gen 3 6-speed dialed in 3 revisions. Look, there are people that I love to deal with, and I have a personal relationship with them, like Rami Zaidan, every single one of his customers that I'm responsible for tuning. Not to say that Brandon, Dakota, and Junior don't have that relationship, but I have a very close relationship with Rami Zaidan. And whatever he needs to hit me up, I'm good. Ben Calamer, I have a very close relationship with Ben Calamer. So I can say, look, what are we looking to do? And I can be straight with him. And when I see that guy run a number, I'm so happy for him. But he has to listen to us. He has to listen. Anyone that wants to run the best they can has to listen to us. Not because we think we're right. It's because we have so much data and experience on those combos that if you listen to us, we will save you money and time. Two things. One thing you can't get back is time. You can get money back, but you can lose it really quickly if you don't listen to us. Eminem says, hey, Alex, I'm stuck between Weld Laguna and Weld 77s for my Whipple 16 GT. What's your favorite set of welds on an S550? 77Bs. S77, the black ones. Now, I like the chrome ones depending on the color of the vehicle. The all chrome S77s or all polished, S77. If the vehicle is a reddish light color, I like no black on it. If it's a reddish or lighter color, red, orange, yellow, white, pearl white, I like just a regular chrome wheel or polished wheel on that thing. And if it's got beadlock rings, chrome or polished. If you have a black, blue, green, dark color, I like an S77B on it. Nitrogen's Bias Supply says, I like slapping my throttle just off idle to see how good the tune is. Oh my God. Hey, Alex, could you fix this? Fix what? Well, I'm in my driveway, and look at this. And they show their foot, and the tack are not 1-to-1. See that delay? Can you take that delay away? You mean the drive-by-wire delay? You want me to fix an electronic delay that's like anticipating what your foot's going to do, so that in real time, when your foot is 30%, it's commensurate with the... Come on, stop it. Stop it. How much do you want to bet other rat tuners are begging SET to stay away from Lund? Well, it'd be game over for them, right? Let's say there's other tuners out there that run SET stuff, and that's all they do, or that's their main. Okay, let's say there are 5 tuners out there, and their total sales per month for SET devices are 100. Let's say 150. Let's say 150. Let's say 5 tuners sell 150 SET devices. The moment, I suspect, if and when Lund Racing and SET get back together, everyone else's Ford SET tunes will be cut in half. And revisions and tune orders will flood at Lund Racing. Because a lot of people felt, and okay, let's talk about that for a little bit. I can't talk about it too much because, what this show puts out there, people hear it. And maybe you don't think they don't hear it, but they hear it. And they basically, don't like the fact that I am not airing out dirty laundry, but I affect sales. So let's say Lund Racing and SET decide to join up again. SET would have like the most ridiculous sales. We would be inundated, not only with new device sales from people probably switching over, because you can do a crank relearn, you can view data in real time, you can put the SET on your dash, you can and see what's happening in real time, you can upload a configuration file right to the device, you can log right, you can do it all. I've already gone through this when I used to work at VMP. But people that felt betrayed when Lund Racing and SET stopped dealing with each other are going to come back, because they had to go to VMP, they had to go to another tuner to get upgrades and support, and they're like, man, it's not the same. I miss the way a Lund tune felt, and I hate the fact that they're not dealing with each other anymore. And I think that the people that lost in this whole thing were the customers. You can't measure how the customer was affected properly by that going away. Now, maybe one day cooler heads will prevail and people will come back and see the light, and okay, cool. But it'll be a boom for SET. A boom if they were to get Lund Racing back into their program. D-Rock Fox says, got S77Bs when they first came out. If you have to pick between a Capri Fox and a Mustang Fox, which one would you pick and why? Fox, Mustang, because it's a Mustang. Capris are not desirable. Maybe one of these days it'll be that weird, off-putting, you get one of those Cougar. Remember the Cougar version of the Cougar, Crimson Cat? Crimson Cat Capri. Remember the Crimson Cat Capri? Piece of junk. Yeah, they were like popular for a little while. The Crimson Cat. Oh yeah, look at the Crimson Cat. Look at this. Oh man, like one day some weirdo might think this is worth something, and it might be, but I don't see it happening. But the 86 Capri was by far the best looking Capri. The 86 Capri RS was by far the best looking Capri they put out there. Woo wee! Oh, the ASC McLaren Capri. So I like the front valance. I had one of these, and I had the big RS hood scoop right here. Actually, no, there's a big Like this is Jeff's car, Capri Man 86. I forget his last name, but yeah, I had something like this with the big hood. This was cool in my opinion back in the day. The Capri, and I think that there was a Capri 86 Capri SECA car. No, let me see. Road race car. Oh, road race. It was cool looking. Yeah, there we go. Motocross. Yeah, bro. Dude. Like you guys talk about what you see now with Ford racing program. This was top J back in the day. This is a Mustang though, not a Capri. This is a Capri. Oh yeah, look at that. Bro, I love the bro, who owns this? First of all, it's like literally a potato camera. But this was baller ass stuff back in the day. So yeah, in my opinion, this is the best Capri that came out. That's the best it got aside from the McLaren stuff. The bubble hatchback was very prevalent, but in 79, they had a flat one. But I think the RS Capri, like the 86, in my opinion, and they had the flares, the fender flares. That's how you can tell the Capri apart from Mustangs. Obviously the nose, but the fender flares and the bubble hatch were very prevalent. But bro, this was, and the taillights. So the Capri taillights, 86 Capri taillights. Tail lights were super cool, weird. But again, they're just not a Mustang. See, this is 79 to 80, 79 to 82, I think, but this is one of the better versions, the ASC McLaren. One of them has a built one around in Massachusetts or Rhode Island, a bluish one like that same color. But this, in my opinion, was the best looking Capri out there. I don't think they'll ever be worth what Mustangs were worth, plain and simple. I just don't think it's going to happen. All right, guys, let's give away a couple of shirts. Oh, geez. Gosh, what did I do here? All right, so let's go on the chat, and I'm going to ask you a very simple Fox body question. Again, these shirts come in large or extra large. They'll come in a package like this, large or extra large, YDBT shirt. We're going to give 2 away. It doesn't matter who, meaning you don't have to be a subscriber. I'm sorry, you don't have to be a member to win on the Peasant Chat. I'm just going to, whoever wins, wins. What year did the Mustang come with the third brake light? Go. In the Fox body era, 79 to 93, in what year did they introduce the third brake light on Mustangs? Go. I owned one, and that's how I could tell the difference between that year and my year. And I went, oh, Monty 540, right away, 19. And a lot of you know, look at you. 2000 MCR, Craig Walls, John. A lot of you got it wrong, but Monty 540, congratulations. In 1986, if you look at a 1985 Mustang, tail lights, images. If you look at a 1985 Mustang, the rear did not have a third brake light. Oh my God, where is it? Right here, see? It did not have a third brake light. See, that's an 85. This is an 85 GT. Remember, these didn't have a true dual exhaust either. They had a single exhaust to a Y pipe, and then it's split at the back, whereas 84 Mustangs had 2 tailpipes on the same side. It was stupid. That's ridiculous. So Monty 540, congratulations. You win a shirt. Let me know what size. ydbtforlife@gmail.com. Let me get a pen. Monty 540. Monty 540, congratulations. Badass. You got a shirt coming to you because you answered that in 1986, they put a third brake light on a Mustang. So Monty 540. Monty 540, the shirt. Let me know your size and your address and verify who you are, whichever way possible. ydbt4life@gmail.com. ydbt4life@gmail.com. So, in what year? Hold on. I'm coming. I'm trying to find the answer so I'm not wrong, because there's a lot of people that get bent out of shape when Because this was a very popular modification to make on Fox body Mustangs back in the day. In what year did the Ford Explorer introduce the 5-liter in their Explorer? Yes, the 5-liter was in the Explorer for many years. But what was the first year of the 5-liter being offered in the Explorer? And that was actually an upgrade. If you could find yourself an upgraded set of like Explorer heads back in the day in your Fox body, that was a big thing. So in what year, first year that they offered the, oh, you guys are close. Oh, you guys are so close. I said first year. You got to be right on the money. It can't be 1 year up or down according to what I see here. So once, here we go, Matt Oliver, 1996. JD Swag almost had it. And right here is the source. Display capture. Just so you guys don't think I'm like trying to play you guys. So boom, boom, boom. Right here, this is from the Ranger Station. 1996 to 2001 Ford Explorer V8 specs. So you had GT40P cylinder heads. You had so you can actually upgrade if you found a 2001 Explorer with a 5-liter. That was actually an upgrade over 87 to 93 stuff because of the cylinder heads. Mostly they were stamped GT40P on some of them. The intake manifolds were actually desirable, believe it or not, but the cams I think were geared more towards, I don't know, like a low end, right? So an Explorer motor with a good cam, and you can see the differences in here with EGR, non-EGR, good stuff. So 1996 is the first year that they offered a 5-liter in a Explorer, and Matt Oliver wins the second shirt. Just let me know if you want a large or extra large or extra large. So Monty 540 and Matt Oliver. I never got into that stuff. So ydbt4life@gmail.com, ydbt4life@gmail.com. Verify your address, large or extra large, and it'll get you shirts. I never got into that. Congrats to the winners, for sure. Congrats to Monty 540 and Matt Oliver. I never got into swapping motors in my Mustangs. Typically, what would happen is if I blew a motor, I'll be honest with you, I didn't blow many motors. I've been very lucky. I didn't make enough power to blow up motors. But anytime I blew something up, I'd get an 86 to 93 short block, put it in, put some good heads, and go. But a lot of people were really up on game. They saw that the Ford Explorer had a decent motor up to 2001. So if you can find a 2001 Explorer that's got good oil pressure, you took the motor out, shoved the cam in it, kept the heads in it, put 1.7 rockers, maybe put a GT40 upper and lower or a trick flow upper and lower. I like the trick flow upper and lower. I thought they looked so cool. If you know what I'm talking about, for Fox bodies, I might do another Fox body one day, but not 351 based. A lot of you guys are looking at my Fox body and going, oh, I could do that. I'm like, guys, if you were to build that motor today, it'd probably be over $10,000. If you got yourself a 308, 363, 331, or 427 to make 460 plus rear wheel horsepower, that means you're making 520 at the flywheel. What's it cost to make a 500 plus horsepower small block Ford? It's good money unless you build it yourself, like you have a lot of know-how. So when you look at the trick flow upper and lower intake for Mustangs, I've always thought they were cool looking. I don't know why they didn't really take off like I thought they would, but it's really, really rare to see this setup anymore out there. What's even more rare is the actual GT40 intake. GT40 intake is super rare to come across. This tubular, psycho looking stuff. Like you don't find that stuff anywhere. And there's a lot of fakes out there. There's a lot of Chinese fakes out there. But if you can find a real deal GT40, upper and lower, it looks cool. It doesn't flow all that great. That's why I preferred the The trick flow upper and lower, I thought they were super cool, and they're all over the place. So you can find them kind of all over the place. I thought this was a really cool looking intake back in the day. So I might do that one day. Like if I find a motor that is pretty healthy, like if the parts form, right? Let's say the parts form has another notch, but it has a 302, not a 351 base. I'd like to see how far I can go with that, but that's expensive. I'm going to stick to the S197 game coming up. Like the next vehicle I buy will be another S197 GT, and do a build series on that, and then maybe sell the car in a year or two. And then I'd like to just keep doing that, build something, run a number, get it out of my life. I think that's a good way of keeping the content fresh and keeping money in my pocket. Yeah, 2,300. 331 with a Novi 2000. Definitely get a MAF car if you do. Of course, I'm not going to get an 86 to 88, or in California, 88s had MAF. I'm definitely going to get an 89. If I can find a 91 to 92, I don't care about 93. I don't want the hyper tech, whatever the hell's. I want the forged bottom end stuff. But how the hell do you know what it has anymore? How the hell do you know what the car has anymore? But it would be neat to see what one can do. Yeah, they go for stupid money. If I had that intake 90 Fox high ported 347s, I hate my trick flow track heat. It's like a George Foreman grill, always in the way for getting into the motor. Dude just has his intake laid out on the grass, right? Trick flow was the big square port. GT40 heads, not the PS B303 cam, and some long tubes. 2014 Ruby Red stick car. I'm trying. I reached out to Rob Bowen at the parts farm. I said, hey, if you come across a Ruby Red 14, because I think they're pretty, but it has to be stock. It has to be stock. Stock tune, stock cold air, stock, and I don't care if it's got rear end damage, but it's got to be mechanically sound. I'm willing to buy one. In about 6 months, I'm willing to buy one to keep the chip. I got to buy a house first. I got to cut the crap. So that's why 6 months, if I don't get into a house by the end of the year, I'll just buy another car. I got to keep the channel moving. I can't let it get stale. I'd love to see what I can do on a stock tune first, meaning how quick can we go on a stock tune? 6,800 RPM limited tune, get, NA, do what I can NA, gut it, and see what I can do on a stock tune. Then we start modifying it and tuning it. So I'm going to be stuck with things like a stock manifold, stock cam timing, stock torque reduction stuff, stock rev limiter. So that'll be interesting to see if I'm sure I can get it way into the 11s on a stock tune. I just don't know how deep into the 11s. 93 looked great though. 93 did look good. If I was to buy 93, it'd be like a triple yellow. Those cars are super rare. The yellow, chrome ponies, yellow paint, white top. Oof. Yeah, not many Foxes have the original stock engines anymore. Exactly. Hauser, happy birthday, brother. Says, hey, live stream on my birthday. Happy birthday. Late model year build, 2014, exactly. Maybe you can get super lucky and find a 14 with a Gen 2 motor. Maybe, but I mean, good luck finding that. When you go on Copart, boy, a lot of them are super clapped. Oh my God, you guys took these Gen 1s and just fisted them and really jacked them up. Because when I see them and they're crashed bad. They look like takeover crashes. When you really look at them, you're like, this guy must have been sliding into the back of people and hurling them in the air like bowling pins because the back looks super jacked up. Rolling banana split. Yeah, so this is, in my opinion, 93 triple yellow Mustang GT. In my opinion, this is one of those cars to have. Kind of like a bucket list car. And if you don't know much about these cars, maybe you don't care. I mean, they had specialty Mustangs like the 7-Up Mustang. They had the red version of this. But I think this is such a cool car because you don't see them anymore. It's very rare you come across black interior. Bro, stick, black interior, big airbag steering wheel. I mean, just like, oh, come on, stop. Stop. This thing needs pony R's and about 500 horsepower and just choppity chop everywhere with my mullet, my skullet. Look at this. Good for you, bro. This is akin, again, not in the same league, but it's got the gator backs, bro. This is in the same league to me that as a Grand National. I know you guys are probably going, blasphemy. Look at how clean the engine bay is. AC, ice cold, that R, whatever the hell they used to have. Power steering pump way the hell down here. Really inconvenient to get to. Mass airflow. Bro, this was badass. This was a badass car back in the day. So they had also red versions. Red Convert GT. It was like an anniversary package. Red convertible and an anniversary edition. Oh, Jesus Christ. Mustang. Come on. Was it anniversary something? Was it Mustang? Oh, geez, I can't spell. Yep, this guy right here. Let's find a good example. This guy right here, too, was a very sought-after color combo. Again, we're talking 90s. Wow. Jesus, what a ride. What? Ben Stoner has one of these. Yeah, Ben Stoner from Fat House has one of these. Bro, you want to bring me back to my childhood? A race red 93 Cobra? Bro, you need to stop that. But there was a GT that I was looking at here. But why isn't it showing up? Yeah, this is Gateway Classic Cars. Oh, come on, stop it. I just want to... Can I click on images? Just click on images. It was chrome... It was white wheels... White or chrome wheels with a white top. But it was an LX, not a GT. The GT had the nice side skirts in the front and the rear valance situation. But, I can't find it anywhere. Wow. I guess they were that rare to find. But basically, this with LX bodywork. And you didn't see them that often. Then you had the 7-Up cars. This was a promotional vehicle that they had going on for a little bit. And they were green and white top, white interior. It was a 7-Up promotional package. They gave it to some basketball. But look at that. Oh, my Lord. Boy, my buddy Freddie had one of these before he passed away. White top, 7-Up edition. Man, bro, you know, these cars are like, at the time you didn't care, and maybe you don't care now. But the 7-Up edition Mustang might be worth something someday. Look at this Celine. Who did this? Who did this? Good for you. That color is phenomenal. A 7-Up replica Celine edition? Stop it. Oh, bro, we're aging ourselves here. We're totally aging ourselves here with the Fox body stuff. Red ones with white pointy wheels. Exactly. Guy I worked with had a black 93 Cobra. I went too many rides in that. What a sick car. 92 Summer Edition. 92 Summer Edition? Is it 92? 92 Summer Edition. Thank you very much for... There it is. Hey, good. Thank you. Appreciate that. So the 92 Summer Edition Mustang was this guy right here. Why is the ultimate header thing up there? I don't know why. Yep, there you go. The 92 Summer Edition Mustang. Oh, brother. So, bucket list Mustang Fox bodies. SSC Celine. This one in red. The yellow one. And Cobras. 93 Cobras left and right. There's not that many Fox bodies that I would just die for. But this, I wouldn't even drive it, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. I'd put that shit in bubble wrap and just look at it once in a while. Turn it on. Listen to that shitty starter try to turn the engine over after the battery's dead. Smell up and have rust come out of the twin exhaust. Dual exhaust, whatever. Yeah, this is badass. But an SSC Celine in black with yellow is also in my bucket list. Black. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, my God. Oh, stop. You need to stop this. Yep, here you are. Hi. Hello. Bro, bucket list car right there. Billy badass. Gotta love it. Fox bodies to me are just as relevant today as they've always been because a lot of people love the lightweight chassis. They made a bazillion of them, and that's why they're asking for crazy money on these cars. Like a Grand National is a Grand National, whatever, and it's, the brothers love them shit, but like Fox bodies, everyone likes them. LS guys, LT guys, Ford guys. I don't know about Dodge guys. I don't know how they viewed this car because they had nothing in the 80s. Dodge guys had absolutely nothing in the 80s to write home about. My buddy had 7-Up. I remember riding around it in high school. The DNL edition, right. Old lady in PSL drives her 7-Up car around. Always found them cool. Triple white 92 convertible with ox blood red interior, vanilla ice. You could get summer edition in yellow, red, and white. Ford was so badass. Now look at them, right? Bucket list in 88, 93G. The 93 Cobra rear end looks so badass. Got me thinking about selling a boat for a Fox. You look, if you could find a 93 teal Cobra, don't do anything to it. Just drive it. Don't do anything to it. Just drive it. Just drive it. Don't do anything. Just go out, get ice cream in it. This was such a badass ride. The 93 teal Cobras to me are like super sought after. Red is nice and all that stuff. This is obviously modified because the exhaust didn't come out like that. But bro, what a color. What a car. Imagine you're 16 and this son of a bitch comes out. 16 years old. This is the Ford I remember. And this is why I'm so, to be honest, heartbroken that Ford has strayed away from the badassery that was this era of vehicles. You guys might think they're gay, blah, blah, blah. Dude, look at that with S77Bs. What, you have great taste, sir. I'd lower it just a little bit, but bro, I wouldn't touch it. Look at the you know how many people put this wing on their car back in the day? You know how many stupid sons of bitches put this valance on their car back in the day? And this, and these sought after taillights? Bro, stop it. This is a bucket list car. Black is cool, but this, bro, give me that. Bro, I might get one. Oh my God, stop. Stop it, Alex. Stop looking at these cars. Oh, what the fuck hillbilly shit is this? Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, there we go. Oh my God. Front end with the little insert. So everyone in the 90s and 2000s had this insert and this rear valance and this wing on their car. Oh, and they had the stupid Cobra logo. That's right. Fox Body guys would put this Cobra logo on an LS and LX, sorry, not LS, on an LX. And they didn't give a shit about it. They put Cobra logos on 4 cylinders. I'm like, sheesh, right, unreal. So yeah, it's got to stop looking at these cars because I can get lost in it. I can get lost in the nostalgia. Can I get a tracking number? Right. My wife hates the look of a Fox, and I just look at her like she's a psycho. You need to divorce that bitch. Divorce her. She doesn't like the look of a Fox. Divorce her. Reef Blue, Coyote Kelly, don't need the negativity in your life. Exactly. I would love the teal. Fox bodies were insane. Look at how they massacred my boy. Look at how they massacred my boy. Did you hear how he cried when they massacred his boy? A massacre. Yeah, that look. Look at how they massacred my boy. Is there a video of it? How long is it? Let me see.
My wife is crying upstairs. I hear cars coming to the house. Consigliere of mine.
Tell me about it.
I think you should tell your Don what everyone seems to know.
Wow. I mean, you guys need to see that movie and understand how powerful that movie is to this day. Oh, and by the way, remember when he said one day I should call in a favor to the funeral guy? When he goes, when at the end he goes, be my friend, Godfather. He said, I want you to make Michael look presentable because he looks like absolute dog shit after he got killed by the
I
peeps.
don't want his mother to see him this way.
Look at how they massacred my boy. Wow. Well, that was the favor he asked of him.
Look how they massacred my boy.
Man, it gives me goosebumps watching that movie because it was just well made, super well made. If you don't like The Godfather, we can't be friends. How do you feel about the Celine front fascia on an S550? I like them. I think Celine has always had a good look to their cars. S550. I just don't like their choice of power adder. They had a Kenny Bell on that junk. And I do like the Celine S550s. They look really good and they stand out. One thing Celine has been good about is design. I've always you might disagree. That's why I don't care what you think. But I think the Celines have always been a really, really good looking vehicle. And I think that's kind of what you get. You know, like you can see lineage. You can see like a 96 Celine and a 90 and a 2023 to 2023 Celine, you know, have, you know, lineage that, you know, with the striping, the side skirts. I kind of dig it, bro. I don't know. Call me crazy. It looks different than a regular ass GT. It looks a little meaner. The hood, the front fascia. I think they did a really good job. But would I buy one for the bloated price? Fuck no. Like, not just no, but hell no. I'm buying that. I'm buying a Celine with a Kenny Bell supercharger. Why the hell would I do that? It's psycho. Whatever. Like, look, if you like Kenny Bell, cool. I just think there's way better power riders out there. My Fox body is Twilight Blue. It also has the P heads and the 96 Cobra spoiler. I bought it this way back in 06. Dropping a like. Catch the show later. Godfather, Goodfellas, Scarface, pinnacle of must-watch movies. Steve Celine has also had always had awesome styling. Yep, exactly. All right, guys, I'm out of here till 11 o'clock. That's enough for that. I've got an hour and a half to wake you up on your Sunday and go do what you have to do. Thank you very much for hanging out. We want to thank all the sponsors, 2 Auto, DNA High Performance, Race Motive, Parts Farm, Kong, Calamers, PMAS, and Ultimate Headers. Also, congrats to Monty540 for winning a shirt. Email me, Matt Oliver. You want a shirt? Email me, larger, extra large. That's all I got. And then we'll get after. All right, guys. So stay tuned for some more videos. I'm going to try to drop tonight or tomorrow. Then we'll be back on Tuesday talking a little more shit as always. Have a good rest of your Sunday. We will see you later in the week or tonight. Who knows? We'll see how froggy I get with the video stuff. See you guys later. Bye.